My older brother passed away in 2010 from the car accident right outside Balgoni Diner. He went into a coma for 10 days, and then he passed away on his classmates' graduation.
Bryant Wanstead's brother is one of 12 people killed on Highway 1 since 2005. Matt Watson was a student at Greenall High School in Balgoni, which has been at the heart of those most affected. We will bring you the voices of those who have lost and those who are still fighting for change along this corridor of carnage.
I tried to run away from my mom. I didn't want to know, didn't believe it was true, because I already thought it was true. Because my one brother came home at lunch saying there was a car accident at the diner. And just before that, my brother's friends were calling my house asking for my parents' phone number. So I just put the two pieces together and went to school, and I was just waiting for my mom to come to school to pick me up, and then there she was. And I didn't want it to be true. And people were getting to me saying, "Brian, it wasn't your brother, it wasn't your brother." That 45 minutes I was in school for probably felt like the whole afternoon for me. Just waiting for my mom just to show up to tell me about it.
Although bypass construction is underway and interchanges at these high-risk intersections are in the works, some residents are demanding immediate action.
For Emerald Park residents, John and Ann Panther, traffic signals are the best interim solution to avoid further deadly collisions until the completion of the bypass in the fall of 2019.
We're staunch advocates for the overpasses. We want that to happen. But when we got involved, it was because the overpasses were off in the future. And we said, in the meantime, you've got to do something on a temporary basis to try to alleviate the problems that we've got here. Just intuitively, we said, how about traffic signals? The available evidence, the statistics, in particular the American Highway Safety Manual clearly shows that in these scenarios, while rear-end collisions might go up in part, left turn collisions would go down significantly, and the overall number of collisions would be reduced by 44%. And you know, the irritating aspect of this is it was the provincial government that provided us with those statistics. So they knew.
While considering these statistics in its decision not to install traffic signals, the Saskatchewan government cited a 58% increase in rear-end collisions, but they have failed to cite a decrease in other collision types. Dr. Michelle Bredard is a director at the Center for Research on Safe Driving in Thunder Bay, and he says the selective use of the statistic is short-sighted.
When you look at that particular table, what you find is that, again, the overall all types is still lower than before the addition of a traffic signal. So, yeah, there will be more rear-end collisions. That's not entirely surprising because of the type of thing, and again, our winters and everything. You know, you'll have a lot of small collisions, but again, those collisions are less likely to be. They won't be as severe as a right-angle collision, and again, the overall effect is still a reduction of 44% according to that table. So there's a perceived benefit in terms of having a signal.
Even though reduced speed limits and photo radar cameras have been implemented, severe collisions are still a concern, and the situation is now political.
Coming from the Ministry of Highway Safety is their #1 priority. There's a lot of accidents on that road, and if there is anything that government can do to make our roads safer, I'd be in favor of that.
We also have a government that's dismissed and delayed meaningful actions for those dealing with the very dangerous Highway 1 corridor that have called for very common sense measures and solutions. And a government, quite frankly, with its bypass and the boondoggle they've created and the way they've gone at it have actually delayed meaningful action. We should have, quite frankly, had overpasses operational a long time ago.
Once the bypass is complete, safety issues will not go away. The diverging diamond-style interchange planned for the pilot-built access intersection has never been built in Canada. This interchange forces vehicles to drive on the left side of the road, making the visibility of road lines crucial for safety. The government has not yet indicated how it will maintain the visibility of those traffic lines in Saskatchewan's winter conditions. For Stuart Hall, a Greenall High School student and collision survivor, the provincial government's temporary solutions are not acceptable.
So on December 5th, 2013 at 12:27 p.m., me and three of my closest friends were on our way for Dairy Queen in White City, and while crossing the highway, we were T-boned by a semi. It was traumatizing because before, in the few minutes before the crash, we were all happy, thinking nothing bad's gonna happen, nothing will happen to us. And then the moment of turning and seeing the grill of an international semi feet away from you, knowing that it's not gonna stop in time, hearing two of your best friends screaming, and then as you hear the crunch and crippling of steel, hearing the screaming stop from your one friend that was behind you, and seeing shatters of glass flying in front of you, and the windshield in front of you shattered from your other friend that was beside you at the time, and just seeing everything covered in blood. And when you stop, a cab of a truck being filled with smoke and exhaust and not knowing where it's coming from, and turning behind you to see, instead of your best friend, blood and crumpled steel, not knowing where she was, it's enough to destroy you. And then looking out and seeing people running towards you, and when you finally get out of the truck, hearing people saying that they thought you were dead, it's enough to destroy your life and change your life in ways that aren't imaginable.
After numerous emails, phone calls, and a visit to the communications office for the Ministry of Highways and Infrastructure, they refused to answer our questions about traffic signals and the diverging Diamond interchange. As debates unfold regarding the safety along Highway 1 corridors, the deadly collisions will likely continue along with the controversy.
And if lucky to be elected again on April 4th, we will continue that investment to make sure that the roads in this province are as safe as possible for the people driving them every day. Thank you.
Now ask that to every single MLA, if what would happen if they lost someone in a car accident, if they lost a girlfriend, a boyfriend, a family member, what it would do to their lives. And now imagine that happening every 2 years to a school and what effect it would have on people. I want them to take into consideration the effects that putting something off and saying something is coming in so many years that can wait for the change. No, it can't, because in so many years, so many more people can die, and then they'll sit there and they can say that, well, the fix is coming, it doesn't need attention when it does.